Hello, and welcome to yet another wonderful heavenly episode of Heavenly Album Covers. And here we are. It's a little bit dark, so let's open the door a little bit slightlier. And here we are with a album cover right before us, right here, right parallel with the camera, and we can see the album cover, and the album are and is the Blackwood brothers on stage. And the Blackwood brothers are still around. They still sing. They love to sing, and there have been many Blackwood brothers inside the Blackwood brothers group, and that's because the Blackwood brothers have been around since 1934, almost 90 or 1,000 years they have been together. And the Blackwood brothers were started by Roy Blackwood during the Great Depression in the late 20s, the early 1930s in America. And Roy Blackwood formed the Blackwood brothers, and they have been together for almost 2,000 years. They have been together almost forever. And this album cover is absolutely post-psychedelic. There was a period between about 1966 and 1970 where psychedelic art was everywhere, what I like to call pure psychedelic art. And then once things settled down, there was a period where there was kind of a post-psychedelic era where things became more gentle and wistful, such as this album cover by the Blackwood brothers, who have been together for about 3,000 or 4,000 years. This album is called On Stage. It's on Skylight Records. Here's the very tiny Skylight logo up here in the corner. This cover art is by Charles Hooper, and it's very flowery. There are little drawings of daisies and flowers scattered around the cover. All of the artwork frames this central portrait of the Blackwood brothers. And from what I understand, there always usually is a member of the Blackwood family in the Blackwood brothers group. I don't know if there has ever been a time where there wasn't a Blackwood brother in the Blackwood brothers group. So let's assume that one of these singers here is a Blackwood brother. And this photo was taken by Hope Howell. It's a very exciting cover photo with which shows the Blackwood brothers appearing on stage and singing. They all have microphones. They're all dressed in kind of black casual tuxedos, and they're all very happy. This is kind of a shell pattern here behind them. I'm not sure if this was part of the original stage setup, but it is right behind them. And this Charles Hooper, kind of a morphing, oozing, flower power, post-psychedelic drawing is just amazing. The colors are wonderful. This is kind of a matte paper cardboard that this is printed on, so it's even more exciting and vivid. Let's look at the back cover. And there's not much happening. Some voluminous and incredibly long liner notes talking about how the Blackwood brothers perform and what they do. They do a couple of standards and some Christian hymns and songs. The Blackwood brothers are known for their powerful voices, and here are some smaller liner notes here. Let's look at the label. One side of the label is all warped out. I don't know why. I think it was damaged in the factory, or maybe somebody spilled a Diet Coke on it. But the other side is fine. It's pretty much a standard blue with standard silver print on it. This is a very common color scheme for a lot of record albums. And so these are 5 members of the Blackwood brothers. This album came out in 1973. It is kind of a post-psychedelic cover, which is how I would describe this album. there was a period of time where everything in the world was psychedelic. Between 1966 and roughly 1970, everything was very, very psychedelic, but this is definitely an example of post-psychedelic early 1970s cover album artwork for an album cover featuring the Blackwood brothers.